Hi everyone. So I just wanted to do a brief tutorial on every single workspace, Google Workspace app that we are to cover for this week. It will just be scratching the surface for each app so that you can get a brief understanding of what each app does, how it works, and it will also enable you to feel more confident in what you're doing. I know that some things some people may know, but I'm going to cover everything so that in case others don't know, they may learn something new. And also for you, I mean, you may think you know how to use that particular app, but then you find that you learn something new. So, and please forgive my screen size. The reason why it's like that, this is because the recording software I'm using for the screen recording, it's literally, this is the outline of the recording, and it sometimes overlaps with some apps. Like I can't get to my settings if it's not in this screen size, so please forgive me for that. So I'll just start off with composing an email on Gmail. I know a lot of us do this all the time, but I will still cover it for those who may not know. So go to Gmail, click on the compose button. In the to field, address your email to someone. So email@gmail.com, just for an example, and the subject will be something, the subject has to be something related to the purpose of the email. You cannot send an email about an important meeting and then the subject is get a free coupon. It's very misleading and unprofessional. So since this is a meeting email, the subject obviously has to be something related to that. So we can say important meeting, and then in the body, this is a reminder for our important meeting. If you keep seeing that G icon, I have Grammarly installed, so please just ignore that. And obviously yours is going to be more detailed, and then kind regards. And once you're done, so this menu over here will not always be there for everyone. For example, I want to emphasize the word meeting. I would highlight that, come to this icon, the formatting options icon, and then make it bold, italicized, and underlined. That's how you get to that option. So once you're done with your email, you've double checked that your email is in the format of name or person, then with the @ symbol, gmail.com, and you send. Now, oops, you've made a mistake. You don't want to send that email anymore. Come to message sent and then click undo, and it will undo this email. I'm pretty sure in options there is an option to extend the length of how long you can take before the undo option disappears. I think I extended mine and that's why it took that long. But when we go through the settings, if I do find it, we'll definitely show you. But in case I forget, just remember to find it in settings. So that's how, essentially, how you compose an email. That's how you add a recipient. And so also when the to field is focused, you can click on CC and add someone in the CC field, which is carbon copy, and BCC field, which is the blind carbon copy. So the carbon copy is if you want to involve someone in the conversation, but they aren't the main recipient, and you also want the main recipient to know that this person is also involved in this conversation. They can also see the conversation and the contents of that email. And they will also get future email responses. Now, BCC, which is blind carbon copy, if you add someone to that field, the main recipient will not be able to know that there are other people that have been made aware of this email, and future correspondence like replies, people in the blank carbon copy field will not get a notification and will not get future emails. So if, for example, you're in a company and you're emailing finance team, for example, and you want your CEO to be up to date with whatever conversation you're having with the finance team, add that to CC. You add your CEO to the carbon copy field, and your finance team will obviously be in the to field the main recipient. And then, for example, if there is an issue that you want to address with someone, maybe there's conflict at the company and you as the secretary want to confront this person, but you don't want them to know that the HR and the boss is aware of that email. You can add HR and the boss to the blind carbon copy field. But yeah, I just hope that you never have such drama in your life. Okay, so now to add an email signature so that whoever you're emailing will know. So let's take the scenario that you are the virtual assistant for a company, for XYZ company, right? So you'll go to settings and then see all settings. Under general, just scroll down until you see signature. Click on create new and name it something that you will remember in case you plan to have a lot of signatures because you have many businesses. So I will name mine this and click on create. And so I am the secretary, my full name, and I am the, let's not say secretary, let's say virtual assistant at XYZ company. And that is your email signature. Some companies provide email signatures in HTML in code form. Others provide you with a nice PNG image, and others, I mean, they don't have that, and you want to, feel more professional, and you just want those nice vibes in your email, so you can create this. And to edit this, to make it look better, you can highlight your name, click on the size icon, make it huge, make it bold, and maybe let's leave this as is. And then scroll down, and I want this signature to be applied on new emails and not on replies, because if you're replying to someone at this point, they know that you are the virtual assistant at XYZ company. So if you email another company and you say like, hi, my name is so and so, I am emailing on behalf of my boss, what, you put the contents of the emails, kind regards, and then at the end it's your name and your position, and it will make sense to the receiver of that email. So once you're done with that, click on save changes. So now when you compose an email, you can see that your email is there, your signature, sorry, is there. So you compose everything, type out your stuff, and then when you're done, so it's going to be kind regards, and then you can even remove this. There's an option there, kind regards, and then this is your signature, and you send. Okay. So now I'm just going to cover something that will even help with the milestone, and also just in future. So this is marking emails as important and starring emails and adding labels. So I've sent myself some test emails over here, and firstly I want to create a label. Maybe I can create the label and call it myself, so that when I receive the email and I see that label myself, I know it came from me, just for at first glance purposes. So I create this label and I want to change the color of the label. So highlight on that label, go to the three dots, go to label color, and I will make it, maybe let's say pink, right? And so I want this label to be applied to each and every single one of the emails sent by me. The quick and easy way to do this is to go to that specific email, right click on it, go to label as myself, and now it has that label. Now the problem is, you would imagine you've got 1,000 emails from the specific company or the specific client, and you will not have the energy to go and right click on each and every one by one. So a batch way to do this is to go to the email sender, get their email. This is the from email. Copy that and search for it. And so now it has given you these top 4. Now select the ones that you want to apply this to. So for example, yeah, select this and then click on the 3 dots, so that's more, and then label as myself, apply. It applies that label. For future references, because this label will not self-apply to every single email that comes from that specific sender. If you want to do that, go to settings, see all settings, and then go to filters and blocked addresses. Currently, I do not have any filters. Create a new filter. So my filter is that if an email is sent from this email, I want to create a filter. So you click on create filter, and what I want to do is I want to apply the label. So you select apply label, myself, create filter. Now every single email that comes in future from myself will have that label applied to it. Secondly, to mark an email as important. So right now I do not have that label option. Not that label. I think it is, yes. No, not label option. It's like the sticker to say that I want to mark as important. Right now I just have the starring option. In order to get your importance markers, go to settings, see all settings. If you go to labels and this normally is hide, it's set to hide. If you set it to show, it will show you the important label on the sidebar. And then in order to get that icon, you go to inbox. Is it inbox? Yes. And then show markers, and then click save changes, and it reloaded. And now here are the markers which will allow you to mark something as important. And now in order to also change the color of the stars, because sometimes, like right now, you can only make it yellow and that's it. If we want it to be a different color, go back to settings, under general, just scroll down and you will see these options. So right now in use is 1 star. If you change it to 4 stars, these are the options that you will get, and we want to use all stars so that we can use all the different options. Click on save changes, and now when you go to a specific email and you keep on clicking on the star, the color and the icon will change. Okay, so that covers Gmail. Now moving on to calendar. So on calendar, in order to do calendar management for yourself, for your client, and just using it in general, in order to add an event, go to a specific time block. So let's do 9 to 10 a.m. or let us say 8 to 9 a.m. You want to block out time for breakfast. So select that. What I did there was just click and drag and then just label it as breakfast, and it's 8 to 9, and you want to change the color. Maybe breakfast is green, and I want this event to repeat every weekday, Monday to Friday. I want a reminder to eat breakfast. And then 9 to 10 is like a buffer time just to relax. And let's say you want to start with your coursework. So let's say that I want to do coursework from 10 to 1, and so that will just be coursework from 10 to 1, and this will be every single weekday, Monday to Friday. And I want to change this to yellow and save that. So every single day from 10 to 1 is strictly coursework, just ALX coursework, right? And then let's say Friday, the specific Friday, I want to change it to be milestone. I want to focus on the milestone on this Friday. So I click save, and then you'll see it'll ask, should it change it for all the events or just this one? I want it to be for just this event. So I click OK, and only that event has been changed to milestone. So basically this is my week planned. I know from 8 to 9 it's the breakfast, 10 to 1 is coursework, and then let's say 1 to 2 is lunch. Every single day, Monday to Friday, I will be having lunch from 1 to 2, and I want this to repeat, save. And this is a basic calendar plan. And so if you want to invite someone for a particular task or event, you can click on that event. So let's edit this, and I want to add a guest, and so you can just like add someone via email, or let's say you want to make this a meeting. So let's say this will not be coursework, this will be a meeting, peer meeting, and you want to add a link to Google Meet, because some people can't use Zoom. It takes up a lot of resources on their laptop, but Google Meet is free and you can use it online. So you want to add Google Meet, just click on that. It will add a link that you can copy and send to others. You can add a location, which will obviously be online, and add a description of what this meeting is going to be about, and then click on save. I won't save that, but that's just for an example. Okay, so now moving on to Google Drive, my favorite. So Google Drive is definitely my favorite Google app, because everything is just centralized on this one app. You have everything you need over here. So first I will start with creating a folder. In order to do that, go to new folder. Oh, that's folder upload. Nope, I don't want to upload a folder. I want a new folder, and this is going to be ALX VA course, right? And this is the folder where I will save all of my ALX stuff. Let's move this to the bin. Okay, so I've created that folder, and then outside of that folder I'm going to create a file. So new, you can go to new or just right click wherever you are, and just let's say I want to create a Google Doc, which is what we're going to be working on next. I want to create a Google Doc, and this is just going to be for learning purposes. Save. When I go back to my drive, that document is there, but I don't want my document to be outside like this. I want it to be in this folder. So right click on the doc or on that file, go to organize, move, and then in the suggested or all locations, my drive. So normally if you go to all locations, it should be in your drive. So you go to my drive, and then there's the ALX VA course, click on move, and it moves it. Or let's undo that, you can highlight this and then drag and drop it into the folder. In order to rename a file, you don't necessarily have to open it. You can just click on the three dots, rename, and we'll rename it to for learning purposes 2. Click OK. And the nice thing about folders is just file organization. You don't have to have like 100 files outside. You can organize them into as many folders as you want. Of course, you've got 15 gigs of reuse limit, and if you want more and you're able to pay, go for it, because Google Drive is amazing, guys. It is absolutely amazing. And if you want to search for a file, this is called for learning purposes. So in the drive, just for learning, and it's there. Or you can go to advanced search and check for the file that has a specific owner, that includes these specific words, that is in this specific location. You can do an in-depth search for a file or even a folder. And if you want to share a folder, you can click on these 3 dots or right click on that folder, go to share again. It's loading, and now most of your milestones will need to be shared with everyone. That link needs to be accessible by everyone. So when you go to share, make sure that under general access this is not restricted. They should say anyone with link. After it is updated, then you copy the link, and this is the link you share. Or if you want to share with a specific person, leave this as restricted and then add that person via email and send them the invite to say, I'd like you to collaborate on this specific doc or on the files within this folder. Then they can have access to either that specific file or all of the files in a specific folder, because right now I'm sharing the folder. So whatever file I add to that folder, anyone that I have invited and have made even an editor will be able to access every single one. And if you don't want that, you just want them to have specific file access, you go to that specific file. So right now it's like I showed you the right clicking one. So within the doc, you go to share and send them an invite from here and make them an editor, so they'll only be able to edit the specific file and nothing else. Okay, so within Drive you can access all the Google apps, some of which you will not necessarily ever need to use as a VA, but would be nice to learn if you want to. So with Google Docs, so let's just jump straight into Google Docs since we're there. So in Google Docs, we all know how to create it, change the font size. So let's just say heading, and I want this heading to be a title size. So you can apply that styling of title, and then we can also change the page margins. So we go to File, Page Setup, and right now we see that the margins are 2.54, and I think this is too big, so I want this to all be 1. So I'll just change everything to 1 and say OK. And as you can see, the page margin, so meaning how far this can go, this white space before the heading title, has been reduced. So that's how you change the page margins. And if you're typing, let me use the lorem ipsum generator because I need a lot of text quickly, and it's very good for that. So let me just take this paragraph of text, and then I don't like the line height between the letters. I think everything is too squashed. So highlight everything, go to line and paragraph spacing and make it 1.5, and it adds that line height. So adding hyperlinks. So for example, I want this word to link back to this lorem ipsum generator. So I'll copy this link, go back to this word, right click on this word that I've highlighted, and then insert link in this field. I just paste my link and click apply. So now this word has the link to the lorem ipsum generator. And so if, for example, I want to find and replace, let's say I want to find this word and I want to replace it with something else. Go to file, is it file? Oh, sorry, it's edit, find and replace. And now I want, so because I highlighted it, it automatically added it into the find field. And I want to replace this word with stud. I don't know why this is, but it's here. And then I'll say, you can say either replace that one instance or replace everything. Right now we only have one, so we'll just replace that one. Click on replace and then exit, and now that word has changed to stud. Okay, so now moving on to Google Sheets. So let's go to new Google Sheets. Let's create a new one, and for learning, no. So just let's name this learning. All right, so Google Sheets and Microsoft Excel are like two of the apps that people absolutely hate, and with reason, because it's horrible. So for this one, just to learn about it and its features, we'll just do a mini tutorial. So I'm going to take, for example, the different courses that we have here at ALX. So we've got, so it's courses, number of applicants, and then extend that, and number of students. So what I did to make this column as wide as this text is, when you go to the column, you will see at the edge, you'll see this two bars appear. Just double click on that and then it will. Or what you can do, if I'm not wrong, is highlight, just go to this corner, click on it, highlight everything, then select one of the corners and double click, and then it should space everything out at once. I'll just highlight this, change the font to, let's say, Arial. Oh, so it's already Arial. Make it bigger, make it bold, space everything out again. And the courses we have are virtual assistants, so virtual assistant, data science, data analysis, we have ACE, we have AWS. Yeah, I think that's what we have right now. So let's say that the number of applicants for, or instead of number of students, let's say number enrolled, because you can show interest in a subject, but it doesn't mean that you necessarily like signed up, completed registration and stuff. So let's say the number that's currently enrolled. So let's say that the number of applicants for the virtual assistance course was 7,000 students, but the number of those that are actually enrolled is like 638. And data science 1,200, and the number of people enrolled is like 380. And then data analysis, let's say this was like 2,300, and only 1,197 are interested in ACE. We've got 5,890, and let's just say that, like, let's say 300 people are interested in ACE. And then in AWS, let's say 700 people signed up, but only 234, yeah, guys, I'm making up these values, are interested. And so now we have this data, and we want to visualize our data. So firstly, you can order your stuff. So let's say we want this to be in order of the biggest to smallest. Click on that arrow in the column, and then sort from A to Z or sort from easy to A. Yeah. So now let's say we want to visualize this data. I want this data in a graph. And I want to see the number of applicants versus, yeah, so courses, number of applicants, number of enrolled. I want to see every single one of them. Or let's say we add the total number of, so it's the applicants, the number of those that are enrolled, and total number passed, right? And let's say that this is also a column and it's got some values. And so I only want the courses, the number enrolled, and the total number passed. I don't want to know the number, I don't want the number of applicants in my graph, in my visualization of sorts. So I'll delete this column and I only want this 3. So what I'll do is highlight these 3, then go to insert chart, and your chart has been inserted. And now we can see that in blue we have the number of students enrolled, in red we have the total number that passed. And let's say that I want this to be at the top over here, and this one I want to move it down, and I want this title to be centered, but it should so that is how you would do it. This is how you would create a graph using your data. That is the basic of what you basically need for Google Sheets to help you get along with the course. And if there's anything major you would need to do, this is the bulk of it. If you know this, you know a lot of what you need to do, right? And you can also create new sheets. So maybe you want to store your data on this sheet and then create this graph on another. You can do that. So that was just like a quick rundown for Google Sheets. So let's move on to Google Slides. I will not lie to you guys, I do not enjoy using Google Slides. There are wonderful alternatives out there like Canva, but you may come across someone who's like, I need to use Google Slides, strictly Google Slides. If not, you're fired, and you know there's nothing you can do. You need to obey. So the first thing we'll learn how to do is to change the orientation. So maybe this is too wide for you, let's say, and you want it to be longer. So go to File, Page Setup, and right now we are on a wide screen, a 16:9 ratio screen, and we want it to be much smaller. So we can select Custom, and maybe this one can be like 7, and then this can be 12. I have no idea what this is going to look like, but apply. Yep. And now it's much smaller. So you can do this to get a mobile feel for your presentation. And let's just change this back to normal, 16:9 screen. And then for this one, I'm just going to do something very basic. I think it explains a lot of what you may need to do. So for example, I do not want this add subtitle field, so I will select that, go to the edge of the box until you see your mouse change to this icon, click on it, click on that the box when the mouse changes to that icon, and then delete that whole thing. So I want to add a background image to the slide for it to look nice. So go to background, change background, and I will choose an image, and I want to get this image off of Google Images, and I want it to be the image of a turtle. I hope I spelled that correctly. Okay, so I want this turtle, and I've selected it, and then I click on insert and done. and I love this background, but unfortunately I cannot read my text. So I will then add a shape, and I want to add this rectangle, and I'm going to just add it over here. I want my rectangle to be black, so with my rectangle selected, I will go to full color and make it black. And now my rectangle is in front, but my text is at the back. I cannot see my text. So what I'm going to do is, with the rectangle selected, go to arrange, order, send backwards. And since I've sent it backwards, now this text box is on top of it. And I want to write, can I type in this? It's the text color. The text color is black. So let me just change this to white. So, okay. I will figure this out with you guys. Full color, border color, text box, line, font. Oh, there we go. Click on the three dots. Text color. There we go. Oh, you see, guys. Yeah. Not everyone knows everything. And so welcome to my adventure. I don't like the color of this. I don't like this border color, and I've learned now that this is it. So select transparent so it doesn't show, and you only have this text, welcome to my adventure. And you've got your first slide. So Google Slides is just like PowerPoint, right? It's PowerPoint. But the nice thing about Google Slides is it's online, and your laptop won't sound like a train when you like open up PowerPoint. And this that I've just shown you is one of the ways to add more customization to your Google Slides. Please feel free to go through that Excel sheet that was provided to you, because it has links for every single thing that you need to do. And if you don't know what to do, how to do a particular thing, that link will take you to a YouTube video explaining what is done and how it's done, which is excellent. So please use that. And so if you want to insert images the normal way, instead of adding it as a background, obviously you go to insert, where you can insert a text box, audio, video, shape, a table, you know, all those things. So now the last one, Google Forms. I love Google Forms so much. Google Forms. So let's say I want to create a form for you guys, and I want to get feedback for each Google Workspace. So then the title will be feedback form. And just to make this short, I'm going to use just 3 Google apps. So the first one is which Google Workspace app do you like the most, right? And it's going to not be it will be multiple choice. Check boxes will enable people to select multiple answers, and I don't want that. I just want one answer. So multiple choice, number 1, Google Drive, number 2, Google Sheets, and number 3, Google Slides. Let's see, right? And then what I want is, based on that specific response, I want to get more information from you guys, right? So I will, first of all, I want this to be required. I want it to be that you guys must answer, so I'll make it required. And then click on these 3 dot options and select go to section based on answer, right? So this option is now open. I will create a new section by clicking on this icon, and this section will be titled Google Drive. And then I will add a question by clicking on the plus button. What do you like about Google Drive? and I want this to be a short answer. I just want you to be brief on the answer that you give. So section 2 is for Google Drive. Then I come back to this this option, and if you select Google Drive, I want this form to continue to the Google Drive section, right? And so then I'll create another section. Oops. Can I change the order of this? Okay, so I'll just move section. Yep, I want this to be over here. I want Google Drive to come first, and then it will be Google Sheets. And I'll add a question and okay, let me make my life easier. Let me copy this, paste this here, and change that to Sheets. Ooh. And it automatically changed to paragraph because I copy pasted this question, and it also copied the format of the answer while it made this a long text. I feel like it needed to know why you like Google Sheets, because why would you enjoy Google Sheets, So go back up here and next section. So if you select Google Sheets, it should take you to the Google Sheets section. Come back, I will just select this so that it knows to create the section after this. Add section, and the last one I believe was Google Slides, and oh, I made a mistake. I made something iffy. So this is Google Drive. Okay, Google Slides. What you like about Google Slides? I stole this question from this section. Sorry. So let me just add a question in this section. What do you enjoy about Google Sheets? What do you like about Google Sheets? And this is 2, 3, and 4. So this one goes to Google Drive, goes to Google Sheets, and this should go to the Google Slides option. So what I want is that after this person, or after this question is answered, if you say Google Drive, what do you like about Google Drive? When this is answered, go to submit form. Same thing when you answered your question about Google Sheets, submit the form. Same thing for Google Slides. Okay, this will automatically submit the form. But if you get to this, like this question, I want you to, it is required that you answer. And this one, and this one, based on where you go. So that is basically it. In the responses tab, this is where you can look at the answers that people provide. You can open up a Google Sheet, create a Google Sheet, so every single response that you get from your form will be populated in your Google Sheet, and it's so savvy for reporting. And then in the settings, you can make it so that you get people's emails. So it is mandatory for people to add their emails. So you can tell people to manually input their emails, or you can get the verified email, which means they need to be logged into Gmail. You can limit it to one response, or if you make this open, they can respond multiple times. And then in the themes, so you can add an image banner. So this is one that I created for one of the quizzes that I had created. Create. So let's just upload. If you hear noise in the background, I'm sorry, I'm at the Tech Hub and there are other stuff happening. There is other stuff happening. Yo, my English bundles are depleting, guys. I'm tired. Then click done. So based on the colors of your banner, it is going to provide you with different color options for customization. So then let's select this green, and I want the background to be this color. And there you go. So you can also change the font of this header. Let's change it to this. Don't do this. This is so bad. It's barely readable. And then let's change the text to this. right? So you can just play around with all of these stuff. Let's change this font because wow. And that is it about Google Forms. So this was just a brief, overview, scratch the surface for every single Google Workspaces app. I hope that this all made sense. If you are still struggling with something, please feel free to reach out to me or Isa, or Vincent. We are here to explain to you and to break down everything in a more understandable manner. Thank you very much.